So, why do I sometimes feel completely at peace for no reason? So why do I sometimes, so the question which is being asked is, why do I sometimes feel completely at peace for no reason, right? And what this is, the mind is questioning, what is this? What's happening here? Why do I feel completely at peace sometimes? Doesn't make any sense. And what it is, there is, at the beginning of the shift, there are times when you just have a moment of presence. There's a gap in the self-seeking mind. So for instance, you could be on a walk, and you go for a walk somewhere, and you're in this beautiful woodland, and you're walking along and you're talking and you're just there as normal. And then the beauty of the place just captures you, and you just see it. And in that moment, there's peace. And you can have it also where you're just completely lost in your own thoughts going along as well. And something just for one moment, there's a lull. And in that lull, you sense your own presence. And you feel that peace. And for that moment, you're no longer lost completely in the story. That's what I'm getting at, is because for those moments, the self-seeking mind, the story, hasn't completely got you, right? I remember one time it was like a huge contrast for me when I was young. I don't know, very, very young, like 15, I think, 15, 16 years old. And I was at a party at a football club. And I was there, and girls are there, and you're trying to look cool, and it's all about image, and the egoic mind is completely there, wrapped up in it all, and you're trying to look good. You've got on your best clothes, and the whole thing is about, portraying the right image so that someone will, people will think you're good, and some girl will want to be with you, and so on, right? Usual stuff. And as I was walking from the dance floor over to the seated area, there was a column. And on the column was a moth. And I'm there, completely lost in my own head, and I looked and I saw the moth. And in that moment, the sheer beauty of the moth, the absolute perfection of whatever that is. Our mind calls it a moth, but the perfection of this, the beauty of it. Now I'd even use the word, literally, the divinity of it was shining through. This absolute perfection. And in that moment, it just shut my mind down. It just shut the self-talk down, and poof, I was just aware of my own presence. And then I looked around and I was like, what's happened? It's like, I just got knocked straight out of it. And you could still see everybody else there, and everybody else is still, they're playing their roles, they're doing their stuff, and, I was just there too. But that moth just completely woke me up for that moment. And for me, then I remember going over, chatting to my friends, and I walked home. It's quite a long walk home, and I walked home, and it was night time, and I walked home in the dark, just trying to understand, what is this thing? And that's what happens in the early stages of things jolt you, like wake you up, just in a moment. And those are moments of becoming aware of your own presence rather than being lost in the story. It's just, for that second, either the mind goes silent or enough of a gap opens up that your awareness drops into your own presence rather than completely identified with the story. And these things happen in the early stages of the shift as we start to wake up. Little things wake us up. Little moments happen where you're like, oh, boom, boom. I have it also like with a thought. I go from one thought to another thought to then all of a sudden seeing right through the thoughts. It's like they become transparent. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is all just thoughts. None of this is real. I was in the thoughts and then I'm just seeing the whole thing. And that's a natural process. That's a natural process of awakening. And in those moments, it can give you a sense of peace, give you a sense of presence. But the main thing is it goes quiet for a minute. And if the mind's still talking, you are just the observer of the mind. You're no longer completely lost in it.